Hi, my name's Liz Rice. I am VP of Open Source Engineering at Aqua Security, where we specialise in security for cloud native deployments. And I'm also the chair of the CNCF's Technical Oversight Committee. And today I thought I would talk about what we mean when we use the words cloud native and what the words cloud native mean to me. The CNCF, the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, exists to foster the ecosystem around cloud native software. We provide a home for projects that people from all around the world, potentially working for competing organizations, can collaborate on to build critical components of cloud native infrastructure. So what do we mean by cloud native software? We have an official definition, but I think it speaks to the complexity and the difficulty of defining what cloud native means that our official definition is 3 paragraphs long. So what I want to do today is look at some of the main characteristics, some of the key words from that definition, and use that to describe what cloud native means. And the first of those terms is scalable. An organization may start in the cloud with small demands for few resources, and then over time they grow and they need their cloud native deployment to grow with them. Cloud native software needs to work from everything from tiny home and hobby projects all the way up to massive scale that today's most successful businesses operate at, where they might be dealing with millions, even billions of customers. But scalable doesn't only mean scaling up. It means being able to change in scale, growing or reducing as necessary. And one of the beauties of cloud native systems is that they can scale up or down as appropriate, making efficient use of resources. Another characteristic is that cloud native systems are dynamic. Systems may need to change in scale fast. This year, for example, we saw a huge and sudden growth in demand for video conferencing and online communication apps as people all around the globe started working from home and could no longer meet face-to-face due to COVID-19. Being able to rapidly and dynamically scale up and down is one of the features of cloud native software that enabled that growth. But being dynamic isn't only about the ability to respond to changes in scale quickly. It's also about enabling businesses to roll out new features quickly and to deploy updates frequently. To be able to make changes to the overall system, it's an advantage if different parts of that system are only loosely coupled to each other, using well-defined interfaces that don't require one component to know about the internals of another. In this picture, every tree is a system of its own, growing independently, but loosely connected to its neighbours, and together they make up a forest. Loose coupling allows a system to be resilient to different modes of failure. And resilience is another key characteristic of cloud native software. One of the nice things about running software in the cloud is that you're not bound to any particular hardware. In many cases, you don't even have any insight into what hardware your code is running on, and only a rough idea of where it's physically located. Cloud native applications are resilient to hardware or network failure. So if one part of the system fails, the rest can carry on and the overall system can heal itself. When things do go wrong, we need to be able to observe those failures. So another characteristic of cloud native systems is observabilities. As systems become more complex, it becomes more difficult to identify the root of problems and more difficult to separate the observation of normal behavior from the observation of anomalies that might indicate a failure. Businesses need observability to successfully run their applications in the cloud. And of course, we want our cloud native systems to be automated. We want them to scale up and down in response to demand automatically. We want them to handle failures automatically. We want to be able to automate deployment to reduce the risk of human error. Automation lets us repeat actions reliably so they're the same again and again. And that reliable repetition isn't just efficient. The repeatability is more secure because there's less chance of human error leaving something open for abuse. And this leads me on to another characteristic that isn't currently part of the cloud native definition, but perhaps it should be, and is certainly part of what I think of when I think of cloud native. We want our cloud native applications to run securely. And in fact, many of the other characteristics can help us with that. For example, we're running our applications in granular, well-defined components, perhaps containers or functions. And these containers and functions are treated as immutable. We know what's supposed to be inside a container or a function, and we know how it's supposed to behave. At Aqua and other security companies, we can take advantage of this to build cloud-native security tools that protect each granular component. So these are all characteristics of cloud-native software, and together they help to define what cloud-native is, and they explain some of the advantages of running software in the cloud. At the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, our mission is to make cloud native computing ubiquitous by providing a home for the best cloud native projects that exhibit all these characteristics. And these characteristics are a big part of what we're looking for in the TOC when we're assessing projects that are applying to the foundation. But the Cloud Native Computing Foundation isn't just about the projects, it's also very much about the community. We're a global organization with global membership and global contributors, and it's wonderful that we're able to work together across borders for the common benefit of improving cloud native technology. And in fact, as a community, we share many of the same characteristics as the cloud native software that we're building. We're scalable. Our community has grown to the hundreds of thousands. There are thousands of people who attend events in real life or online. Our meetup groups, when people are able to meet in person, meetups happen all around the world. So we've been able to welcome hundreds of thousands of people into the cloud native community. And we're certainly dynamic. That growth has been fast. Cloud native is being adopted by organizations at a really rapid pace. So we're definitely dynamic. We're loosely coupled. We provide a home for many different projects, and they all act independently. They govern themselves. We just require certain characteristics of open governance, but aside from that, projects can run themselves whatever way works best for them. But We do encourage alignment between projects so that they can operate successfully together. As a community, we are certainly resilient. Just look at the fact that we're meeting online when we can't meet in person. And our projects have been able to continue developing, people have continued contributing despite all the crazy things that have been happening this year. We're observable. We hold meetings in public, we document things on GitHub, we have many community calls where anyone is welcome to join and get involved. And our code of conduct requires us all to treat each other with respect so that it's a safe and secure community to participate in. I've certainly also found it very welcoming, and I hope that's true for you too. Automated? No, this is one characteristic that we do not as a community share with our software. The community is very much made of human beings. It's a vibrant and positive community, and it's welcoming to people from all backgrounds so that they can come together to collaborate on cloud-native technology. This community is where the critical infrastructure gets built to support the services and businesses that we all rely on in our day-to-day lives. And I think we've all come to appreciate the scalability that it's enabled, particularly this year. I'm very proud to be part of the cloud native community. I'm really glad to see you here too. The community is a big part of what cloud native means to me.